Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. Today I want to talk about twin flame repulsion. In other words, why is it that sometimes twin flames can repel one another in the physical world? This may seem very counterintuitive because, as many of you know who listen to this podcast, who are very familiar with twin flame connection, or for many of you, you are strongly consciously aware that you are a twin flame yourself. You've been on this path in this lifetime for a while now. So it might seem counterintuitive that such a strong, intense, magnetic connection we experience with our twin flame could also have a repelling effect. In fact, this is so counterintuitive that for some people, especially those who are not twin flames, they look at this as a kind of delusion. They will say, if this person is so attracted to you, if they are your soulmate, because of course, sometimes we use the word soulmate when we mean twin flame, when we're talking about the strongest, most intense form of love bond we can have with another person. Spiritual bond, really, I should say, that manifests itself as, of course, many different things, including a love bond. But many people who aren't twin flames will look at this and say, if you have such an attraction to one another, how is it possible that you could ever repel this person or that this person could repel you? And when I use the word repel, I'm referring to what we sometimes call the running and chasing, the pushing and pulling. This is something that is so prominent in many twin flame connections that we've even named it as this entire stage or phase of being a twin flame. We call it the running and chasing phase, or the pushing and pulling, just depending on how you personally describe this dynamic. So why does this happen? And more importantly, how could you or how could we be pushing our twin flame away without realizing it? Now, this is one of the most confusing topics under the umbrella of twin flames to address, because twin flame love, twin flame energy operates so entirely differently from most forms of love connection. In most forms of love connection, the love is highly transactional and highly visible, what we would sometimes just refer to as conditional love. What I mean by this is, in most love connections or relationships, love is very much built on the physical words and actions demonstrated or spoken to the person in the physical 3D world, and the physical words and actions received from the other person. And then from these words and actions in the physical, we then create rules or conditions individually, with a partner, and collectively as well. We have certain societal collective rules. These rules within love and relationship can be different depending on whether you are from the eastern parts of the globe or more so from Western society, how you were raised, your community. But regardless, most of us are raised into some kind of paradigm filled with conditions placed on love and connection. These conditions could go something like, you should always do blank or say blank within a relationship. You can fill in the blank with whatever that condition is for you. Or alternatively, they could be directed at the other person. The person you are with should do or should say this, or should not do or should not say this, or else this connection can no longer exist. Essentially, we condition our love relationships so that if certain conditions are not met, we then will automatically sever this connection within our own minds. And because most of our love connections in the physical that are not soul connections, are not our soulmates or our twin flames, are based and more so in the mental realm, when we mentally cut ourselves off from this person, we are cutting ourselves off from the love connection itself. We are letting this person go based on these conditions that we did not meet or that they did not meet. Now, soul love, meaning our romantic soulmates, our twin flames, this kind of love is much more unconditional, and for twin flames, it is entirely unconditional. This means that twin flame connection is not based at all on these physical conditions and restraints and limitations that we place on love and connection. Now, this might sound like a beautiful, esoteric kind of thing, and it is, but on the other side of this, the challenging part of being a twin flame is when our conditions are not met, the conditions we have placed on love, when we mentally try to disconnect based on those conditions, when we say, okay, I'm just going to let this person go, I'm going to forget this person because they didn't meet my conditions, we find it impossible to get this person out of our energy field, to move on from this person, as we would say, even if we are separated from them physically, emotionally, mentally, we will still feel that bond because that bond exists energetically. It's not something we created consciously in this lifetime. It's something that we were born into this lifetime already sensing within us. So what happens with twin flames is when we are trying to approach twin flame love and connection from the same conditional way we approach typical love and relationships, this causes a very strong repulsion effect within twin flame connection. So let's define this in more concrete terms, because we've been talking kind of higher level here. When we are moving from a conditional space with our twin flame, meaning when we are trying to force or to push something forward within our twin flame connection, it not only will not work, it will actually repel our twin, because our twin flame is responding to our energy, not to our physical words and actions. This is because they are our energy. They are the mere reflection of us energetically. So let's say that we do something or say something to our twin flame that on the surface looks like an act of love, but it's coming from an energetic space of fear. We are motivated to say or to do this thing because we are afraid, if I don't say this or I don't do this, my twin flame is going to leave me, or they are going to love me less, or something along those lines. There's some kind of fear-based mentality that is motivating that action or that thing that we said. This can be very confusing to our physical human self and to others around us, because on the surface, that thing we said or did will seem to our ego self, to our conscious mind, and to onlookers to be this act of love, to be this great thing that we did or said for this person or to this person. But our twin flame is not responding to the words. They are not responding to the actions. They are responding to the feeling, and specifically to the energetic feeling that they are mirroring from us. So when we are motivated to do or say something from a space of fear, our twin flame feels the fear within their own energy as if it is their own. They feel what motivated us to say or to do or to move in some way within this connection in the physical, and they respond to what they are feeling energetically because, again, they reflect our energy. They think those are their own feelings. So this is why at times we can feel like from an ego-based perspective, we are doing and saying all of the right things to our twin flame, and yet they seem to be pushed away. The reason they are pushed away is because we most likely haven't analyzed the root of why we were saying those things, why we were doing those things. Now, on the other side of this, there's no right or wrong way to approach twin flame connection in the physical. Many people out there will say, don't contact your twin flame during this time, or don't ever say this or do this with a twin flame. But the truth is, there is no one truth when it comes to how to interact with your twin flame or when to interact with them in the physical. There are no rules. It's all about what is motivating you, looking at your motivations. Now, again, this can be very, very difficult because this is almost precisely the opposite of how we are taught to approach love and relationships. So, what are the top few things that repel a twin flame or they push a twin flame away? And specifically, what are the motivations within us or the energetic feelings within us that will push away our twin flame? One is simply our fears of being abandoned or losing love. Now, this is something that comes up a lot in twin flame connection because it is one of the core energetic wounds that we refer to as inner child wounds. Very often, this pattern of fear of abandonment begins in childhood through some kind of formative experience where we experience being abandoned either physically or emotionally from someone. Typically, this can be a parent. This can be completely unintentional. So this is not me saying that someone is to blame here necessarily. This, again, can be unintentional, unconscious. It's when through learning our sense of identity and self as a child, we have an experience that causes us to feel deeply unsupported and therefore to feel deeply insecure within ourselves. Typically then, if we have this abandonment wound from that point forward, we will then seek a feeling of support outside of ourselves so desperately, and in the process, we will abandon ourselves. So one thing that will repel a twin flame from our lives is when we are self-abandoning or over self-sacrificing under the guise of love or even selflessness. So when we do something or say something to our twin flame that causes us to feel as though we are abandoning ourselves, we are over self-sacrificing, we are giving too much, not giving to ourselves, not caring for ourselves because we think that we are doing this out of the kindness of our heart or because we love this other person, our twin flame. Our twin, again, is responding to that fear of abandonment leading to self-abandonment that is motivating how we are acting or what we are saying to them. They are not responding to the actions or the words themselves. The number 2 way that we can repel our twin flame is when we are moving from a space of obligation or guilt. This is one of the most challenging conditions to love that we as twin flames are here to face and to erase from our consciousness, especially our subconscious mind, those deeper levels of the consciousness. Most love relationships are founded on acts of obligation committed to one another. In fact, most of the commitments and promises we make to one another within love connections have some kind of obligation, some kind of feeling of needing to, or I should do something for this person in order to keep them or to keep this relationship or to grow this relationship, to make it stronger. Most people in society will even tell you that in order to keep someone in your life romantically, you have to do certain things almost force, although they don't call it that, but force yourself to do or say certain things on a daily basis to continuously build and strengthen that connection with that person. This is because, again, most love connections are based predominantly in the mental realm, in the thought realm, in the 3D, not in the core energetic soul kind of realm, that higher realm. So with your twin flame, it is completely the opposite. Again, your twin flame is reflecting your energy. So when you are moving from a space of guilt or obligation, what your twin flame reflects back to you is that same feeling of obligation. So if you are doing something for your twin flame thinking, I feel like I should do this for them, I feel obligated to do or say this to them, and then they don't respond to it, or they don't respond to it the way your ego self or society tells you that they should, this could be because your motivation for speaking, for acting in this way toward your twin was coming from a space of, I don't really want to do this, or I don't really feel inspired to do this, but I feel like this is what I should do. Again, all of this is very complex. There is a lot to unpack here because twin flame love is just so incredibly different and in some ways polar opposite from traditional, more mentally based, more consciously based and rooted, 3D rooted kinds of love connections, the kinds of conditionally based love connections that we are here to actually transcend. We are here to show this different pattern, this truly unconditionally loving way of existing, way of being, and way of connecting, which is both a very beautiful thing and also a very challenging thing. But through that challenge, we are expanding. We are letting go of very old and ancient and very limiting, restrictive paradigms. So if you are someone who is on this path, I honor you, I support you. I am here to hopefully provide some kind of support or guidance along the way for you. If all of that resonates with you, please do consider subscribing to this channel, joining our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. I do post a lot of twin flame content, material, information, and readings through this space and this really beautiful high vibrational community we are creating here together. If you are a twin flame or you are aware of being on the twin flame path, know that although, as I've said, many of these concepts can be very challenging, very complicated at times to grasp because they are so different and in fact so polar opposite of what we are taught by society growing up, know that in some sense, it is simple. Yes, there are these layers of complication, but at the core, twin flame connection is about us energetically, about us reconnecting with our most authentic self, getting back to that core of who we are. And in that process of returning home to ourselves, we are peeling back all of those confusing, complicated layers, all of that negative programming, all of those conditional love paradigms. And I've actually created a subliminal meditation that is useful for this very practice, for peeling back all of those layers and programs of conditional love, getting you back to your source, to your core, to your most authentic, radiant, magnetic self beneath all of those layers. The way this subliminal works is that it contains about 100 different affirmations targeted to different energy centers in your energy body. We sometimes call these the 7 chakra centers. Within each of these chakra centers, we are open or blocked based on our subconscious beliefs, because the subconscious is directly reflected in the energy field. So for example, when we have negative beliefs about our worthiness of love, when we feel untrusting because truly we don't trust ourselves on this unconscious level, in this particular case, we may have a block in the heart chakra center. And of course, on and on it goes for all of the 7 chakras. Now, I've created a 7 chakra, very comprehensive twin flame energy clearing tool. This is available on my Subliminal site, soundandsoulful.com. So as you can see on this website, I've created over 100 subliminals, not just for twin flames, but really for any area of your life. For any area of life you may want to change, shift, or manifest. And the way that subliminals work and why they are so powerful is subliminals actually address the subconscious mind very directly. They deeply and quickly reprogram your subconscious, which has the effect of radically up-leveling your energy, radically shifting your energy field. And in the case of this 7 chakra twin flame clearing, it is designed to magnetize you for fully, openly giving and receiving that truly unconditional love connection with your twin flame that will reverse that magnet that could be repelling the two of you and allow you to, with just as much force, be drawn together, not just energetically, but then of course in the physical world as well. So the link to this 7 chakra twin flame clearing subliminal meditation is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. You can click that link and you will be taken to a page where you can explore so much more about exactly how this subliminal can be used to powerfully shift your energy and assist you in experiencing more magnetism within your twin flame connection. And again, you can try out that subliminal or any of the more than 100 I've created completely free for 7 days by creating a free trial account on my website. And again, the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who are here, not just listening, but literally co-creating all of this knowledge, all of this information here through this channel, through this space, this community we are creating here together. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day and start to your week. I will talk to you again in the next podcast.